Well, hey everybody, I'm Jan Erickson from Stepping Aside, and welcome to Somewhat Daily Tarot and Rune for the second day of August 2021. Well, if you didn't pay your bills yesterday, it's time to do them today. I have to do them today. I didn't do them yesterday. I did a few, as they came in, but I still have a little bit more to do today. Um, did the kids party, the grandkids party on Saturday, celebrating both kids. Our granddaughter was born on the 13th, our grandson on the 31st, so 1-3 and 3-1. So they're as opposite as they come. But it was just magic. I don't know. It was incredible. So I got a little ways into this. I pulled the first three cards. I got the runes. Um, and so I'm just going to go ahead and go with that. Because I think it's an interesting reading, kind of a tough one. I was sort of struggling with the order here, but I think I know what I want it to be now. Um, I think that, and I don't know, maybe it's because of the reunion we had with both our sons this weekend, because we haven't been able to see anyone, right? I mean, you can talk to them, but you can't see them, can't be with them. And so to be with everybody, now our daughter-in-law wasn't there, my oldest son's wife wasn't there, she had to work. So not the entire family wasn't there, so that was unfortunate, because we didn't get to see her, and we would have loved to. But we were able to get together, and so I don't know if this has to do with reunification, maybe. Um, Maybe we'll see but it might resonate for someone. I don't have the last two cards yet, though, so I don't know. So let's just go ahead and get started with what we have. One thing I did want to share with you. I finally finished. I've had a couple of different books going. One's a novel. I still have. I'm about halfway through that still. But the other, I was working on a herbal. How to work with herbs magically book. Anyway, I call it Herbal Magica, and it's available in both Kindle and paperback format. I went ahead and did it over on Kindle this time. I couldn't upload it on the other site so that I could do it in a whole bunch of other places, including Amazon. I wasn't able to do that. I guess it was too long. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't think it was that long, but whatever. Maybe there was something else about it. I don't know, but that's what it was saying. It wouldn't even let me upload the manuscript. It says, no, it needs to be this big. It's like, really? Well, no. So I just went ahead and did it over on Kindle or on Amazon, and anyway, it's $8.99 for the Kindle version, $9.99 for the paperback version if you want that. Some people, I mean, I like them on Kindle, but I also I ordered some copies, some proof copies. But anyway, but I like to still have a book. So I like them both. I like to have it both ways, but that's just me. Well, the Kindle's nice. I mean, it's lit up, and when you get old, you need that. So I don't know, but it's also nice to just have a book with you, and look at it. There's just something about the book. So anyway, that's enough of that. I'll leave a link to it below if you're interested in purchasing it. If you do, thank you so much. But anyway, today we have Isa as the it's the Norn rune of the present moment or static realm. This is one of the three Norn runes. This one is the Norn rune of the present moment. So everything freezes, everything stops, the will contracts. It's focus, it's concentration, it's alignment in higher self perception, higher self awareness. In other words, alignment in just your soul, instead of and leaving the ego somewhere else. With poor, maybe the little boy energy, and it's a bit scattered. If I raise two boys, and so if you've raised boys, you know what I'm talking about. It's not anything, but they can get into stuff, and you got to watch them. It's that's that simple. And but again, today it's like a combination of understanding that we need to get control of something. Okay. And so that's really the definition of the runes today, I think. Let's see. We're on a 2 energy today with the second day of August. So, and again, the month of August and 8 energy there. So talking strength. there. On the 8th, that'll be the Lion's Gate, the 8-8. It's not an 8 energy for the year, unfortunately, though. In 2008, you had the 888. That was cool. That was the Lion's Gate opening, but you have a little minor one opening here soon on, let's see, what would it be on Sunday next week? Is the 8th? Is that when the 8th is? I think so. Because the esoteric influences went from the 1st to the 7th and it ends on Saturday. So yes, it would be the 8th would be on Sunday. So there'll be that energy happening on Sunday. Might be interesting. Some Leo energy there, some strong, powerful, you know. But basically, I think we're going to go ahead. I have this in the order I think they need to be, but again, I don't have the benefit or the challenge card yet. But let's go ahead and start here. We have Justice, the 11th card of the Major Arcana. 11, again, is a master number for illumination and awakening. The 22 is the Cosmic Builder. 33 is Christ Consciousness. And those are the 3 numbers I usually work with. You can work with any dual number though, but these are the 3 that are most known, I think. But here, this is about balance and equilibrium and justice and fairness. And basically, we're talking about, it can't be legal issues. And it could be. When you're looking at this, for some people, this might have to do with the legal entanglements that they're finding themselves in from the insurrection in January. So this could have to do with that, but don't necessarily. But unless that's happening for you, or you know somebody it's happening for, I wouldn't necessarily read into that yet. It could simply be about finding some balance and coming into some more reasonable type of understanding of something. So if you think of it in terms of awakening, then it could be that your perceptions are finally settling out and you realize that, okay, I've been thinking the wrong stuff and now I got to come back to some more reasonable decision about things. And when I do, see, then I have the strength to let go of emotions that no longer serve. This is likely at right on the shoreline. You can see here is the sand where the cups are sitting on. He's walking away. Essentially, cups is the water element, and so that's going to be emotions and compassion and empathy, all of that. But here he's walking away, and you can see he's going uphill, and there's some rocks in the way. There's some challenge to leaving these emotions behind. It's almost like he represents the ninth cup right here that's missing. See, and whereas 8 is strength, you're having the strength to walk away from some chaotic emotions maybe that were driving you in a direction that was leaving you completely out of balance, both emotionally and also mentally. So that's where I think, starting with the card of Justice, because when I pulled these, it was the 8 of Cups, then Justice, and then the last one, the Lovers here. But I really think that we have to bring our mind into some equilibrium and bring things into some real balance and understanding before we can then, even though I think we begin in emotions, I think we react emotionally to things. At some point, we've got to reorder things to then be able to walk away from emotions that no longer serve. Now, you're going to have some help with that this week astrologically if you look at both the esoteric influences and magical influences for the whole week. You'll see a pattern there with the second paragraph of each day. That's where I do the lunar information and the lunar transits, whatever the moon's an aspect with that are strong aspects and stuff. I create a paragraph talking about all that. And if you look at that, there's kind of a trend throughout the whole week. And then define further, and although I haven't done them, I know that it's going to say that you're going to be seeing some other types of planetary aspects that are reinforcing this whole idea of getting into, really getting into the weeds of it, and things are going to come up maybe unexpectedly for you this week, and maybe you'll say them out loud before you're ready to, it's that kind of an experience where you've got to deal with stuff. Now, if it's the stuff that got you where you were on the January 6th at the insurrection, well, you've really got some stuff to deal with, especially if you've got some legal stuff coming up. If you were there and you've been arrested, okay, so you're being forced to take a look at what you did in a way that you didn't expect you were going to have to, right? And that can just apply generally to people. You maybe you didn't go do that, but maybe you align with that sort of mindset. Or maybe there's just some other things that you've been struggling with, and now it's time to get it in order and awaken to the truth and understanding of it all, so that you can then go and leave those emotions behind that no longer serve you, get them in order, hear their message, let it change you, and realize it's like, oh, okay, I see what I got wrong there, and now I'm going to have to move on to something else, right? And you're going to balance the polarity within and without. Here you have the Lover's card, card 6 of the Major Arcana. You see the sun up above. That's spirit. That's higher self. That's creator, shining forth. You see the angel sitting on the clouds there. And you see the people below, Adam and Eve. You see the mountain actually sort of angles toward the stronger individual. Even though the oak tree is behind Adam, it's a little spindly, don't you think? But here you see the tree of life, full, with all of its apples. You see the serpent around it, the serpent of knowledge. The knowledge was given to Eve because she was the stronger of the two. The mountain aiming toward her, angling toward her, tells us that she was the stronger of the two. She could handle the knowledge. She could handle understanding. Because she was going to give birth to creation, she had to. You see, she's looking towards spirit, isn't she? She never takes her eyes off the angel, whereas the only place Adam has his eyes is on her. If you look at, in terms of the Major Arcana, you'll see the Fool, then you'll see the Magician, then you'll see the High Priestess. That's one group. And then you move to the Empress. You don't have the Emperor first. You have the Empress, who's giving birth to creation, and only then do you see the Emperor, the consort. So the power, in other words, the patriarchy was because men didn't want to give up power, not because they had any to begin with. Women were happy to share the whole thing with them, but oh no, that didn't happen. So, but you can see right there, just exactly the dynamic at work there. So Eve was not the damaged one, it was Adam. It was Adam that didn't have the strength to carry on, not without her, you see. And I think that the message behind this, if this is about the relationships that have been torn apart over the last 4 or 5 years, culminating in what happened in January, even if you weren't somebody that took part in that, even if you're not arrested or facing that or indicted or what have you, or going to trial or sitting in jail or whatever's going on for those folks. And I only say that because of the Justice card. If there was something else, I probably wouldn't even care about that, but it wouldn't even factor in here. But I think that in terms of relationships that have been made more difficult by the reaction to the response to managing the pandemic in our lives. Some will get vaccinations and wear masks, and some will not. Right? It's that power dynamic. It's caused some tensions, to say the least, amongst people. And we need to have a healing of that. And the Lovers can indicate some kind of healing within as you let go of emotions that no longer serve. You're able to get into a better situation with yourself and with other people as well. Now, let's take a look at the card that's going to challenge. What's our time? We're doing pretty good on time. So I'm going to take the 13th card for this last two. Well, the challenge is going to be dealing with some, here you have some loss, okay? This is the 5 of Swords. In the process of letting go of emotions that no longer serve, you may end up having to if this is I'm trying to find a way to say this. If this was a perception issue, if it caused you problems in your relationships with others, by leaving that, if you have a new group of friends, well, that may cause conflict there. But the bottom line is the understanding that needs to happen. You see the sketchy brown clouds are clearing. You see the water behind everybody there. Now, the water is still a little bit choppy, so it's not smooth, so emotions are still happening. Even though this is a card of the air element and intellect and getting down to details and reason and balance and all of that, aligning well with justice. The challenge is going to be that there was some betrayal there, I think. You've got one guy who's picking up the spoils, basically. The other two swords are on the ground. He's got 3 of them. One guy down here by the water is literally holding his head. He's bereft. He's still very, very caught up in the emotion of the whole experience. Something has seriously changed here, you see. And again, if you're coming to some kind of an awakening, some realization over how you've been seeing things, that's going to be a big thing. And again, it can involve new set of friends, new, you're not going to maybe be online on those places anymore, kind of thing. I mean, it could take a lot of different forms, right? And this guy here, he's paying attention to this guy, and they're both unaware of what this guy's doing. But the look on his face, it just seems to me that he's up to no good. And so I think that the challenge here, when you're awakening, when you're letting go of things that no longer serve, when you're trying to rebalance your own polarity, your own masculine and feminine, projective, receptive presence within, you're also maybe doing that with other people as well. You have to realize that there was some deception at work underlying all of this, and you need to stay strong. The Eight of Cups is telling you that the way forward may be difficult, but you have to stay strong. You have to realize that there was some deception that was going on there. There were some games being played and things happening behind your back that you don't know about, and that you're only now beginning to understand. And maybe that's some of the alignment of Isa, and also the Justice card is maybe bringing in that type of understanding and awareness. So the challenge again was understanding that in other words, this was kind of done to you. If it's this other stuff, otherwise maybe you are coming to the understanding that there's just more to the picture than meets the eye in terms of this change. And with the sketchy brown clouds clearing, understanding's possible. You're just going to have to pay attention to it, to what somebody is doing in the background. Now the benefit card here is reunion. Here you see the tree of life from the Kabbalah. You see the pentacles all arranged in that. Now with the 10, you're talking, this is sort of like an Othala card where you're talking about inheritance and legacy and tradition and family and possessions and security, basically. Here you have the 10, so you're talking about a new beginning. And again, it's like going to see our grandchildren this weekend. You've got Grandpa there. You've got his dogs right there. They've come to see Grandpa, basically, it looks like. And you see the man and the woman here, maybe the son and daughter-in-law or vice versa. They're standing under the archway. This is like a card of passages into something new. Sort of a transition, a handing off of the legacy to the younger people in the family, the adults who are now the adults in the family. And he has become the elder. But it's literally the passage through the tree of life. Or maybe back up through, I don't know. But that's what's going to benefit us at the end if we're able to bring things into balance, whatever it is, no matter what this concerns ourselves with it. I'm using the chaos with relationships now that led to the insurrection. I'm using that simply because of the justice card. But I think it illustrates that even if you're just having issues in your own family, or what have you, maybe there's a way back to that. Realize that there may have been, you were either deceiving yourself or there was some deception at work. And that's challenging to let that go, especially if you've been enmeshed in all of the in the whole thing. And if it's the conspiracy stuff that we're talking about here, that's really, I think that that's true. I think that not only were people deceived, whether it's surrounding the big conspiracy stuff or the pandemic conspiracy stuff, it's resulted in people's lives being affected in ways that didn't need to happen. Understand that there's deception, both inner and outer, from self and others at work. That's going to be the challenge. But the benefit is once you resolve all of it and you let go of emotions that no longer serve, you bring things back into a better polarity and a better balance within and with others. Then I think that you can see the benefit of the legacy and the familial inheritance of it all, the collective aspect of self, the harmony of all of it comes back into your life. So I think that that's probably so however you want to extrapolate this into whatever situation that's going on in your life, go ahead. You can just see the flow of energy with those other examples, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I suspect we're going to be seeing themes like this for the foreseeable future, because more and more people have to wake up, and it may be serious situations that they encounter that make them do that. I don't know. I wish that weren't the case, but it may be such that's what needs to happen. And sometimes it takes big stuff to get us to wake up. So I don't know. But there you have it. Either you could just look at this basically as a reading about self-deception and you're getting things back under a better way of seeing it or something. Anyway, I think that's it. I think that's all we'll do. And we'll come back on Thursday and see if there's more to add to this. And it sure would be nice, though, to get the chaos out of the way, wouldn't it? And just be able to go back to mundane stuff in our lives. It's like, okay, this looks like a jobs issue, or something's happening with you when you're on the career front, or, okay, this looks like family stuff going on or whatever. Yeah, that it'd be nice just to do that. Instead, we have these massively huge things we're still dealing with. It's like, oh my God. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll talk again. Look for the little correspondences videos. I've been doing those 5 days a week. I did not do one on Friday because of, getting ready to go on Saturday. So I just didn't have time. But they're fun to do, and check them out. They're on the YouTube channel. They're also over on Patreon. And I also have them on the side panel where I have all my videos. I have them there too. So anyhow, check those out, and be good to yourself. Be good to one another. And blessed be.